Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have a 1v1 on Semoskiy. Our heroes today are going to be A71baba, also known as Alibaba, I would assume. That's what he's trying to spell out there. Playing for the Soviets, and we have WaRRyKeR, or WaRRyKeR, probably WaRRyKeR, Star Trek reference, for the playing for the Germans. So, again, it is a game on the new patch and with new units. And we can see that WaRRyKeR went and got himself Assault Grenadiers. A little bit different build than we saw on the previous game in the newer patch. He actually decided to build Tier 1 with his Pioneers and get himself the Assault Grenadiers after, after he got a 280 manpower. Still hasn't built anything from Tier 1, but that will allow him to, have a little bit more flexibility at the start and, maybe get an MG or even Grenadiers to support those. So anyways, we see Alibaba getting himself conscripts, nothing out of the ordinary there, and WaRRyKeR is getting himself Assault Grenadiers. Now, I'm not sure if I agree then at this point with getting Tier 1 so early, since he's getting 2 Assault Grenadiers. I mean, it would require that your, Pioneers retreat to build it afterwards, but, Assault Grenadiers could have been a little bit faster on the field. But, well, we'll see what the follow-up is in that. I mean, it is a brand new patch, so, strategies are still being developed, so nothing's set so far in the meta. But, anyways. So, conscripts in the center for Alibaba, just capturing territory. They went ahead and captured that victory point to start getting the drain on WaRRyKeR. And, WaRRyKeR has yet to build anything else. I mean, obviously, the Assault Grenadiers are a little bit hefty on the manpower, 280, so, they do slow down the production of units, but at the same time, they allow you to get those units out super fast because, well, they are Tier 0 and they don't require any command points to be able to build, so there they are. Those are 5-man Grenadier squads with MP40s. In the north, we hear an engagement. Assault Grenadiers with the Pioneers back there for support, engaging these conscripts. Conscripts decide to jump into the house to have some type of defense against those relentless Assault Grenadiers. One of the conscripts does go down in the pursuit and is there in the ground. And we now have that conscript shooting out of every window in the house, mostly doing damage to the Pioneers. The Pioneers are forced off of the point, but not before they actually finish. That's nice. That's a nice word. Finish capping the fuel point. So conscripts still sticking in the house. They don't want to rush out because they know they are not going to have the advantage in the open field against those Assault Grenadiers. But there is, well, the combat engineers are retreating, and there was another conscript squad coming out, but it is going to the center. So that conscript squad is going to stay in that house for a while. It's just holding the ground while these Assault Grenadiers just capture. Conscripts capturing the fuel point down south. The entire south of the map hasn't been captured by Alibaba, so that's quite interesting. And we now see that WaRRyKeR has actually produced a Grenadier from his Tier 1, although the rally point seems to be a little bit off, and he just had them stop there at the actual base building. But there they go. So interesting. It is going to allow him to have a little bit more flexibility as far as abilities, because Assault Grenadiers, while great, they do not have the ability for Panzerfaust like the Grenadiers do, so any type of light vehicles would be very effective against them. M3 scout cars with a flamethrower come to mind. They would be very, very brutal against these Assault Engineers. So conscripts trying to capture the fuel point do get stopped by these Assault Grenadiers. Conscripts decide to jump into the house and are going to be taking some shots at the Assault Grenadiers, but with only 2 buildings looking at them, 2 windows, I guess these guys over here do have a better shot at this guy, but it's only 1 man. Assault Grenadiers do suffer a little bit of losses there. 1 guy goes down, so they are going to back off, but the conscripts do take some health damage. Up a little bit to the north in the cutoff point, we see the conscripts engaging against standard Grenadiers with a 2nd Grenadier squad coming up for support. So these conscripts are going to have a tough time and are going to have to retreat. Conscripts over here do finally manage to jump out of the house and decide to capture that fuel point, while at the same time the Pioneers and Assault Grenadiers are capturing territory and getting that munitions point to the left-hand side. Assault Grenadiers in the center, so interesting choices. We do see, 2 Grenadiers, 2 Assault Grenadiers, and a mortar follow-up for Alibaba. That is an interesting choice. And, well, what we were talking about, WaRRyKeR decides to get himself tier 1 and get himself an M3 scout car with a flamethrower jumping into it. So yeah, I mean, those are going to be pretty good against those assault grenadiers. They can't really do much against them, and they're going to have to just run away. Alibaba does have to worry about those grenadiers, but there's only 2 squads on the field, so, you know, a little bit more capability. So let's actually take a look to see how the scout car fares. We're going to put a little bit of hotkey on it just to keep track of it. And there it goes. It is actually going to the left-hand side where the assault grenadiers and pioneers are. So these 2 units are, well, pretty much in a bad position. Nice nades go in by the assault grenadiers into the house. Does a lot of damage to those conscripts in the house, bringing them down to 1 man. But the assault grenadiers are now forced off of the field. Down to 1 man. Is the scout car actually going to pursue? It is pursuing. The flamethrower is opening up and trying to get the kill on that assault grenadier, but he is running away from the car. A little bit ridiculous that the car can't keep up with a man on foot. There it goes. And very nice pickup there by Alibaba. Manages to kill that assault grenadier. So yeah, scout cars are still very good. And well, without Faust to help out, those assault grenadiers are pretty much putty in their hands. Pioneers decide to stick it to Alibaba and are going to decap that cutoff point, essentially cutting off the entire map for Alibaba. He has yet to capture the south portion of the map, which may be a mistake, but he is, well, essentially biting himself in the foot right now because he is not gonna... How do you bite your foot? I don't know what I was trying to say, but yeah, he would have at least had the south as income, but well, he doesn't have anything right now. Conscripts coming up to try to prevent that cap. They are going to do some damage to the pioneers, and the pioneers for some reason decide to run into the base sector, are going to get shot by the MG and the conscripts on the back and get executed. Not sure what WaRRyKeR was trying to do, but those pioneers are now dead. Scout car in the center of the map doing some nice harassment. It has actually taken some good damage, but the mortar is now in a very bad spot. It gets down to 2 men. It's now going to get chased by that scout car. Can he actually decrew it? No, it looks like it's going to be able to make it back to the base sector. And there it goes. So the, oh, okay. I was going to say the combat engineers jump out of the car. They don't need to jump out to capture the territory, but they are going to try to get some emergency repairs on the field. We do see a grenadier squad coming up to try to get that scout car. Scout car does finish the repairs. The combat engineers haven't jumped in there, so the grenadiers are actually going to be able to get a Faust off on the car. The car tries to run away, but the Faust has already been activated and gets the engine damage right in front of the base sector MG. This scout car is going to go down, so the engineers decide to run away. Getting suppressed in the runaway, interestingly enough, but yeah. They know that scout car is going to go down, so very nice decision there by Alibaba. Abandon ship and run away. There he goes, finally gets unsuppressed and is running away. Very low in health now, down to 1 man, but I think it should be fine. There are no enemies in the rest of the way. Very lucky squad there. I think that might have been a glitch, though. I mean, the squad was already retreating. I'm not sure they should be getting suppressed on the retreat, but well, game isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. So far it's been going okay for Alibaba. He has gotten himself his doctrine and gotten a shock troop on the field. These shock troops, we will see how they fare against assault grenadiers. I would assume they would lose out without veterancy, but once they start racking up the veterancy, they might be able to do very well against them. Still, WaRRyKeR decided to get himself another what am I trying to say? Another assault grenadier squad. So he's again two grenadiers, 2 assault grenadiers, and has gotten himself tier 2, getting a panzer grenadier squad, and got himself that. Sorry, I want to look at it. Where is it? Here we go. That half-track call-in with the new commander. That it looks like it comes with a panzer grenadier squad in there. Not sure if it comes with it, but it looked like it. Did it? Let me see. We have tier 1 only. Okay, so yeah. I was wondering which one it came to. So yeah, this is another call-in. It's a half-track, very similar to the mortar half-track, but it's the clown car version for the Germans. It comes with a panzer grenadier squad in there. Half-track does go into the center, gets 18-aided in the face by the conscripts, getting some heavy damage and engine damage going on there. So it is going to retreat off of the field. The mortar does set up a little bit behind, and it's going to provide some support. So it's a very nice option. It'll be interesting to see, you know, this half-track with flamethrowers or snipers in there. You know, could be some nice strategies going on there. Which, again, you know, is why a lot of people are complaining about them being exclusive. But whatever. Again, not touching that subject with a 10-foot pole. So, Assault Grenadiers over on the right-hand side, just capping territory. The mortar is going to town on these conscripts. Conscripts decide to move away from the point after decapping it. And it's just simply going to set up positions over here. Not sure if they should be doing that right now. I mean, these shock troops could go a little bit further back and at least capture territory for Ali Baba. And they decide to do that. Yeah, he figures like, oh yeah, it may be in my best interest to capture territory. And there he goes. Conscripts just moving around. They are getting assaulted by the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers doing a lot of damage to them. Down to 2 men. They are going to retreat. Maybe losing one more guy on the retreat, but they should be fine at 2 men. And they actually make it out alive with 2 men just fine. Conscripts in the north just going over and capping. So Ali Baba has gotten himself a lot of infantry and is getting also a penal battalion with another M3 scout car being produced. So that's going to be interesting. I'm assuming he's probably going to jump the penal battalion with a flamethrower in the scout car just to have that little bit more firepower going in there. But yeah, not bad. We'll see how the penal battalions fare against the assault grenadiers. Shock troops in the center getting a little bit mauled by these Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers take a nade to the face. They don't actually lose any men, but do a little bit of damage on the health. Shock troops move up to do some nice damage. Panzer Grenadiers decide to jump into the house and are going to have the upper hand. Mortar round lands right on top of the shock troops, doing a lot of health damage and a lot of kills. Down to 2 men if they need to retreat right now. There they go. Another nice mortar round lands nearby, but doesn't actually manage to kill anything. And there go the shock troops. Panzer Grenadiers down to 4. I mean, still at 4 men, very low in health. These guys are very susceptible to small arms fires. Conscripts shooting from the church should actually be able to kill them off if they are not careful. They move into the zone for the victory point, but yeah, they notice they are taking fire, very low in health, and decides to retreat. Does he actually have healing? No, he is going to have to get a med bunker if he wants to do anything with those Panzer Grenadiers, because that health is not going to come back on its own. Up in the north, we see the conscripts harassing and taking this point, but essentially cutting off the north for WaRRyKeR. The half-track, that was a little weird, but the Pioneers do jump in there. Takes an 18-8 to the face, a little bit of damage on the health, and obviously the engine. But yeah, the conscripts really don't have much to worry about, because this card doesn't actually have any inherent weapons. It's just a card that you can put units in. Aside, like, you know, as opposed to the M3 scout car that has a forward and rear gun. You know, that's pretty good. Mortar getting caught in a very bad position by both the penal battalion and the scout car with the flamethrowers, or double flamethrowers. Gets cleared out. These combat engineers might be wanting to jump out and get that mortar, but we'll see what he decides to do. Left-hand side, Grenadiers, both squads together, decide to capture territory, and still Ali Baba has not sent anything to capture the south. So not sure what's going on there. I mean, he could have that income all this time during the game, because WaRRyKeR has decided to not actually capture that either. I mean, otherwise it would be red right now. Mortar still not taken by anybody. A little bit of a missed opportunity there. Another what do you call it? Half-track, sorry. It's a brand new unit, guys. I mean, I'm a little bit confused. Another half-track gets called in with a Panzer Grenadier squad in there. These guys are actually doing some very nice damage to these conscripts. Conscripts down to 3 men. This other one has a Pioneer squad, so not a lot of damage with those SMGs. But the squad is down to 2 men. It is going to hit retreat. Is it going to be able to make it out of there? It is going to be able to make it out just fine. So yeah, that's an interesting, also another option available, because you don't need to get yourself tier 2 if you wanted to get Panzer Grenadiers. Obviously you miss out on the scout car, but you know, it also gives you the another version of a half-track. It isn't going to reinforce, as far as I know. Let me double check on that. Where is it? Here we are. It's a fast-moving light vehicle that can garrison 1 squad of infantry. This unit station that can fire outside a half-track while benefiting from its protection. Troops can forbidden battlefields, protecting its postal. Yeah, it's basically the same as an M3. M3 goes down over here. Ooh, very nice nades in the house. Don't actually do anything against the flamethrower squad, and it opens up on the assault grenadiers. So it's a very nice ability, but well, it's been underperforming so far in this game. Although it did do a lot of damage to that conscript squad, but it was a smaller house. So obviously you still have that issue in houses. Wow, that flamethrower guy has been doing a lot of damage to this assault grenadier. Assault grenadiers are down to 2 men, still taking damage by the flamethrower, down to 1 man. Is that flamethrower actually going to clear out an entire assault grenadier squad by itself? Well, it almost did. That guy hits retreat. He's gonna get flamed on the retreat, but he catches fire, runs through the water, and saves itself. Penal Battalion is gonna intercept the guy and take some shots at it on the move, but the guy makes it alive. So very lucky Assault Grenadier squad, and very beastly combat engineer. I don't even know how to describe him. He's so awesome. Look at that. 11 kills on that combat engineer squad, and that one guy is just that was awesome. Church suffered a little bit of a remodeling. They decided to open it up and, you know, make it more feel like a little bit more accessible, you know, no doors and stuff, so you can just walk into the church whenever you want. It's a pretty battered church. I do find it a little bit weird that the units don't set up in a position where they can just simply shoot, you know, through the edges. They still set up where the windows were. I kind of like that from the original Company Heroes, where if there was a wall with no windows and, you know, something popped and, you know, made a hole in it, a unit could actually, you know, shoot through that hole, which I don't think happens here, but oh well. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these guys just in the window can actually turn and shoot, but I don't think that actually works like that. So the mortar's still left on the field. Again, a little bit of a missed opportunity about A71baba. Either destroy it or take it for yourself. You know, you don't want to leave equipment in the hand of your enemy. Up north, we see the half-tracks being quite annoying for forcing away a shock troop. Shock troop still at 5 man, so not a lot of losses there. But they can't really do anything against light cars. And do we have medics? We do have medics, so those shock troops are going to be fine. And fighting around the mortar. Nice nade goes in, does some good damage to those grenadiers. Assault grenadiers getting battered by the shock troops. And a forced retreat on both units. So far, WaRRyKeR has 2 Panzer Grenadiers, 2 Grenadiers, and 2 Assault Grenadiers. So very nice. And we now see the Stug 3, another unit from the Doctrine. This is a assault gun with a very short barrel. It says is effectively mobile artillery, although it doesn't really look like artillery. Designed to support infantry forces against almost any obstacle they encounter. So I'm not sure exactly what the role is of this one. I mean, you can tell there that it's not artillery. It's not the same as the other Stug in Company Heroes 1, you know, the one that was actually artillery. And it doesn't seem to be hitting that infantry that hard. There it goes, it did do some damage. So I guess this is more of an anti-infantry support gun. It'll be interesting to see how much damage it does to vehicles. I mean, obviously it will probably be good against light vehicles, but not as good as the standard Stug, but oh well. So at least we see it on the field, and we'll see if it performs very well. I mean, so far it has actually gotten 5 infantry kills, which is more than you would say for a standard Stug shooting at infantry, even that close range. So yeah, I mean, at the very least so far it has proven itself to be more effective against infantry than the standard Stug. Penal battalions, conscripts, and more conscripts in the area, fighting off assault grenadiers and panzer grenadiers. Flamethrower opening up on the panzer grenadiers, doing a lot of damage. 2 guys catching fire instantly, forcing off that panzer grenadier squad. Assault grenadiers are now at Vet 2. I believe they have the same type of veterancy. Yeah, they do. They do get increased armor, so these guys are going to be a little bit more tough and should be able to close the distance a little bit easier. Obviously, they're going to have to get healed up and reinforced before they can do much. But yeah, I mean, veterancy is always nice. Left-hand side, we see conscripts engaging again. Those half-tracks, Panzer Grenadiers in there. Another half-track over here with a Grenadier squad with an LMG. That's a nice option. Yeah, I agree with that one. An LMG Grenadier would actually be quite good in this situation because, well, doesn't need to set up. It's going to be opening up with that LMG quite nicely. And we see the shock troops getting harassed by all sides by these half-tracks, and the shock troops can't really do much against them, so they should probably retreat. They're probably trying to delay this for a while. Down to 2 men. Are they actually going to go down? Down to 1 man, I think. A71baba might be losing this squad. He might be focused in the center right now. Quite unfortunate that shock troop did have veterancy 1, and it is going to be lost to the half-tracks. There it goes. So yeah, he is focusing in the center. This Stug is doing, again, a lot of damage. Conscripts do jump out of the house and are going to throw an 18-8 on the Stug. They actually do crit through the front, get some engine damage, and that's very nice for them. But unfortunately, A71baba doesn't have any follow-up as far as anti-armor. But, well, WaRRyKeR doesn't know that just yet. He could be calling something in right now, and he is going to just simply back off. So, quite interesting game. It's nice to see all those new units being used. A little bit of a missteps, you know, here and there. We finally see A71baba deciding to capture the south. Again, don't agree with his decision to not capture that sooner because, I mean, you can see here, obviously, hindsight is 2020, but, you know, you should always try to capture the most territory that you can. And Alibaba would have been able to have this income of both these points all this time throughout the game. That's 20 minutes of that income not, you know, not being in his possession. So that is not good. Conscript's getting engaged by the half-tracks. I'm a little surprised that WaRRyKeR hasn't tried putting those pioneers with a flamethrower in there. But, well, I mean, the Panzer Grenadiers are also not bad. I mean, they are doing a lot of damage to the conscripts. And they also have the option of just jumping out and throwing a bundle nade right on top of them. I mean, bundle nade right here would be really nice. But yeah, again, strategies are still being developed with all these new units, so can't really say what is the best usage of them so far. But there's a lot of possibilities with this half-track, and I'm sure we will find something that is utterly broken, and we'll have to get adjusted in some way or another. Conscript Squad does get Veteran C3 after it gets forced on the retreat, down to one man, but manages to make it alive. Another Conscript Squad gets into the zone. He's probably going to throw an 18-8 on this half-track, although Alibaba doesn't have the munitions for it, so he was just bluffing one. Small arm fire is doing some damage to it, so they do have to back off. Flamethrower Engineer with that Vet 2 doing a lot of damage to this Grenadier Squad. Assault Grenadier Squads do end up dying to that Flamethrower, because WaRRyKeR was not paying attention to them. There is an engagement over here on the right-hand side. We have Panzer Grenadiers, Assault Grenadiers, and Grenadiers engaging a Penal Battalion and Shock Troops, and we do see a artillery barrage right in this sector. The Shock Troops do take the brunt of it, losing 2 of their guys in the first barrage, but the second barrage doesn't actually manage to land anything. Nade goes on top of the Grenadiers, but the Grenadiers were long gone, already running for their lives. So a little bit of wasted munitions there, but it was already queued up, so not a big deal. Panzer Grenadiers moving into the zone to try to, well, I guess it was trying to support. It is going to get followed up by the Stug 3, so it is going to do a lot of damage to the Shock Troops. Shock Troops have no response. The Penal Battalion also has no response unless it can land a satchel charge under the tank. The tank doesn't move, and even then I'm pretty sure it's not actually going to kill it. So the Shock Troops are taking some damage by that tank. Very nice damage going in. Look at that. That's actually pretty good damage. And they do get Vet 2. They're actually going to have to retreat. You already lost one of your Shock Troops. You don't want to lose another one. Down to 2 men. Get him out of there, Alibaba. And there he goes on the retreat. Nice shot goes in. Kills one more Shock Troop, but the other one manages to mask itself through the hedgerows and makes it alive. Quite lucky there. Penal Battalion is focusing on capturing the fuel, and we now see an SU-85 for Alibaba. So he went all the way to tier 4 and is going to try to kill that Stug 3. Stug 3 isn't going to be able to do much against him, but there is a pack gun on the field for WaRRyKeR. WaRRyKeR will be able to do a lot of damage to this SU-85, but can the SU-85 take care of the Stug 3? It is going to try. It is in a very bad angle. It's backing off now. It's not trying to get itself killed, because it's probably not worth it to exchange itself for the Stug 3. Stug 3 does move to the right, though, and is now no longer supported by that pack gun. Flamethrower upgrade gets exploded on the Combat Engineers. Combat Engineers move over to the SU-85 to try to repair it. SU-85 gets a nice shot on the Stug 3, and the Stug 3 goes down. And we see that WaRRyKeR now has himself a third half-track. It's very spammy on these half-tracks. I'm not sure if it's the best choice at this point. Obviously, it gives you 2 units, so it's not a bad investment, but not sure it's what he needs. I mean, obviously, the Panzer Grenadiers are going to be great. The SU-85 can't really do much against infantry, but these half-tracks can actually go down, so it would probably have been better to, you know, he already has this tier 2, so, you know, could get himself just Panzer Grenadiers. Vanilla. But so far, these half-tracks have, you know, paid off in their way. Let's see how they are actually performing. Well, you can't actually see the half-track. We have 18 kills on the Panzer Grenadiers, though, so I guess those are really good. This squad only has 1, so it's the brand new one, and this one over here has these Grenadiers that have 12. So yeah, I guess they have been okay, but well, we'll see. Right-hand side, Assault Grenadiers trying to capture the territory. They are going to get engaged by those Penal Battalions. Penal Battalions are getting a little bit mauled, considering those are SMGs at close range. They try to move in for the Flamethrower, but they're going to take a lot of damage, and they are going to get killed. So misstep there by Alibaba. Shouldn't have sent this squad on its own, especially at that low health. Su-85 still at the very front, keeping that territory. This mortar hasn't gotten recapped by anybody. And we see two squads clumped up together, capturing 1 point. Not a good thing, but they are moving out now. Another shock troop squad. Wow, up to 3 shock troop squad by Alibaba. Not sure if I agree with that many, but I guess it's not. It's fine. I mean, you would want something with a little bit more anti-infantry capabilities like conscripts. I mean, anti-vehicle capabilities like conscripts, but he doesn't really care much about that because he's getting himself a KB-8, and that KB-8 can, well, I would assume, very easily take out this half-track. And there it goes. There's the KB-8 with another shock troop for support, so it's not a bad thing because the shock troops can simply just stay around the KB-8 and, well, kill shit. Nice mine laid down there by Alibaba. Is the half-track gonna run over it? It looks like it might. It does stop a little bit short from it, but if it moves over in this direction, I'm pretty sure it's gonna do this and run through it. Su-85 turns around, says, "Hey, what are you doing to my point?" Takes a nice shot at the half-track. It's gonna take a second shot. Is it? No. Half-track manages to move out of range and is now fine. KV-8 moving up very forward, just to capture territory. It is going to run into that half-track, while the shock troops are also going to run into the grenadiers. Flamethrower goes onto the grenadiers, doing a lot of damage. 2 guys catches fire instantly, another guy gets burnt up, and the last guy catches fire, dropping his LMG-42, which the shock troops could use, you know, give it to them. Well, the Vet 2 one would actually benefit from it. Why? Nicely. So this is actually going to very, in Alibaba's favor, very nicely. He has the armor superiority. He does have to deal with 2 pack guns, which is keeping his armor at bay, but they are back at the base, so he currently has pretty much control of the entire map, especially with all that infantry. Did he capture that? No, he hasn't captured that. Has he actually gotten the mortar? Get the mortar. Come on, somebody get the mortar. At least destroy it. Come on. Whatever. Assault Grenadiers getting Molotoved by the Vet 2 Grenadiers. 2 of them catching fire. The last one catches fire on the retreat, so another Assault Grenadier guy down. So heavy losses for Alibaba. He is now down to less than 100 points, 96 to 270. Su-85 moves up to take some shots at this half-track. Panzer Grenadiers with Panzer Shreks, that's also a very nice option for those clown cars. You know, drive-by Panzer Shreks. But, well, it gets caught in a bad position. Su-85 simply takes it out. And the Panzer Grenadiers are forced off. Shock troops are now going to push forward to try to get some damage on those guys. We see an incendiary barrage going right on top of the pack guns. This pack guns is not moving. Neither of them are moving. And the barrage does go in. Fires are burning everybody alive. 1 catches fire. Another catches fire. They are trying to move out of the zone of the fire, but 1 pack gun goes down. Second pack gun goes down. So the Su-85 now has free range. If he notices that those got killed, I would move the Su-85 up right now and take shots at the pack guns and destroy them, so that WaRRyKeR cannot get them back. Conscripts on the left-hand side capture the territory, cutting off WaRRyKeR from the entirety of the map. There's nothing left but his base sector that is giving him any type of income. 2 Panzer Grenadier squads do move in force and push him out of the field. Even though they are Vet 3, they cannot really stand against that much firepower. Su-85, though, isn't taking the advantage right now and moving up to try to take up those pack guns. He may not know about that, although he does have those shock troops. Does he actually know about it? He does. He at least sees 1. So, yeah, a little bit of a missed opportunity there. And there we go. We see the Pioneers taking that pack gun. And we now see the clown car with the Panzer Shreks going in. But it takes a barrage onto the house, takes a shot to the face by the Su-85. Su-85 takes a second shot, destroys the engine, and down goes the half-track and the entirety of the Panzer Grenadier squad. So no break there for WaRRyKeR. It actually ends up dropping a Panzer Shrek. We could also get, you know, something else can get it. We see another Stug 3, which is going to do some good damage on those shock troops there, but another incendiary barrage goes right on top of all these. The pack gun is forced up to the front and gets incendiary still in the face. Down to 2 men. Fire should be able to clear it out, or the shock troops just taking shots on the side. And there he goes, down to 1 man. Wow, that 1 man decides to fire 1 last shot before retreating, and the pack gun is just simply decrewed right there. This Stug 3 is now going to get taken out by the Su-85. Down to 10 points for WaRRyKeR, so I think that's pretty much it. Last-ditch effort, didn't go his way. 1 more shot by the Su-85 to kill off this tank. Not straight gun. Can he actually get the last shot in before it ticks? He does. And there he goes. So game over for WaRRyKeR. He suffered incredible losses, and again, it's nice to see these new units in effect. Sorry about the way the overlay looks. I tried something new, and I guess it didn't actually work out. But at least you can still get an idea of what's going on there. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description below. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.